Hey, there's Lila, what's it like in New York City? Something very, very dramatic happened. It was a clash of titans. And yes, I am talking about... It was horrible. About a month ago, two very, very big rappers by the and you might not know them, so I apologize if you're unfamiliar. Two big rappers by the name of Drake and Kendrick Lamar had some beef. Lots and lots of beef, a whole smorgasbord if you will. And in this beef, they decided to do something that hadn't been done in a great many years. They beefed with diss tracks. Oh yes, the classic. And it was a battle that would put the Blitz to shame, as they kept going back and forth, diss track. And eventually, the dust settled. Now, while there isn't a clear-cut winner, I think it's, by most accounts, people have come to the conclusion that Kendrick Lamar kind of smoked Drake. As within these diss tracks, he went deep. He cut real deep. No vibranium was gonna save Drake. He cut to what really hurt, saying that he was a pedophile, saying that he has ghostwriters, saying that he has a hidden kid that the world doesn't know about, saying that he's just an overall very, very bad person. These were lyrics that cut deep in a very, very haunting tune, especially with this song. But despite that, there were still some people who thought, you know what, Drake is not a bad guy. He really isn't a bad guy. And he didn't lose this diss track. He didn't lose this rap battle. And then he decided to post something so silly that not even Drake fans can defend him. He decided to do a Jamaican I still can't believe he did this. He did a Jamaican version of Hey There Delilah. Yeah, I'm not even... is that it's not even, it's so bad, because the accent that he does, the Jamaican accent that he does, it's terrible. It's a terrible Jamaican accent, and I think that's understandable considering that he spent most of his life in Canada. But anyways, he released it to the public, which, props to him. He really put himself out there, and he put himself out there to be absolutely flamed by the internet. And it was so bad that even the most diehard Drake fans, especially the really, really public ones, they couldn't even say anything. They just stayed silent as they watched with a 1,000-yard stare as their favorite artist decided to sing Hey There Delilah in a Jamaican accent, and it just wasn't good. Now, to say that this was the nail in the coffin for Drake, I think would be disingenuous, because it has been a very, very rapid fall. It's like jumping out of an airplane with an anvil strapped to your feet. His fall from grace, especially after the beef with Kendrick Lamar, it hasn't really been pretty. Reason being is because, first of all, Kendrick called him out on all sorts of things that were terrible, terrible things. One of the biggest ones was him being called a pedophile, which then prompted Drake to respond, hey, I never did anything with Millie Bobby Brown, which was something that he was accused of in the past. The thing is that Kendrick never mentioned Millie Bobby Brown. Drake decided to pull that specific name out of thin air, despite it not even being part of the argument. So that was a really, really bad look for Drake. Why were you mentioning why were you mentioning Millie Bobby Brown? And that can easily be written off as, well, that's because that was what he was accused of in the past. How dare you? He's a good person. He's not a pedophile. Which is fair, but it was kind of a shaky defense in terms of, oh, well, because of past, accusations and stuff. But then immediately after that, or not that long after that, he decided to go on the record saying, actually, Kendrick, I got you. That's right. And then the theme from Death Note started to play, which I can't play because I tried it once. I got copyright striked, so we're not doing that. But just imagine the is playing in the background, all right? Because then he went into a whole, well, actually, this was what I planned from the beginning. Kendrick Lamar, you've got. You see, this entire time, I've been having secret agents giving you false information. All that stuff you said about me being a pedophile, I made that up. Because you just got. I win finally. And nobody bought that for a second. The reason why is because the stuff that Kendrick Lamar said was kind of very extreme accusations, and Drake's apparently the one that fed him his information, which leads to the question of all the things that you could have fed to, this person that you're beefing with. Of all the false information that you could have given him, you decided to make one of them I'm a pedophile? Why? You could have said so many things like, yeah, that guy's not strong. All he can dumbbell curl is 100 pounds. This guy's a wuss. You could have given him positive affirmations and try to sneak it in as a diss, but he didn't. He decided to go with one of the worst accusations that a human being could possibly get, and that's being a pedophile. Yeah, and with that accusation and with the words from Drake's own mouth, there weren't a lot of Drake fans that came out in the woodwork saying, ah, he got you. They kind of just said nothing. And then he decided to do this, singing the Jamaican Hey There Delilah, which I think is just him admitting defeat. It's just white flag in a way. It is an extremely rock bottom for Drake. But I think this kind of raises a very, very interesting question. What now? Because right now, it seems like Kendrick Lamar is just riding on cloud 9 right now. He won. He made Drake look like a fool, and he made Drake make himself look like a fool. And it's gotten so bad that he's not even doing rap anymore. He's doing covers. So it's not a great look for Drake, but that kind of begs the question, what happens now for Drake? Because as far as I know, he's not retired. He's still going to try to make music. My question is he going to be able to recover from that? Because this wasn't like a burn, this was like a nuclear explosion. He is right now dust on the ground. And it kind of begs the question, how do you recover your reputation after that? Especially now because he has these, not only did he make himself look like a fool, but now he has these very, very serious allegations that he has on top of him right now. Accusations that he so far has not been able to disprove. He did make himself look a little bit more sus when he started mentioning Millie Bobby Brown, because that wasn't even on the table, and then he went like, wha-bam! In all honesty, I'm not really much of a fan of either. It's not that I dislike any of them per se, it's just I never really grew up listening to them. I'm sure they make good music, I just don't, that's not my style of music. But even despite that, as somebody looking in from the outside, it just doesn't look good for Drake. It just doesn't. It's just a terrible, terrible thing. Will he be able to move forward in a career, a music career, with not only getting completely flaming himself, but now with these terrible accusations, will he even be able to move forward in a music industry? And I think that's something that time's gonna have to tell pretty soon. I think it will become very apparent if his career is still good or if it's down in the crapper. And who knows, he might be completely fine. Maybe this entire thing will not even affect him career-wise. Who knows, maybe he'll even rise up in popularity. I mean, this thing was massive. It did go to all corners of the world, the Kendrick Lamar Drake fight. Pow, pow. Bigger than Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. Because you know Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, the biggest fight. But at the end of the day, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Though, having said that, Drake is not starting off in a very good place. He's kind of right down there, and then Kendrick Lamar's like, ah! And to think that all of this started because Drake got leaked. That's it. That's the canon event. That's what started all of this. You may quote me on that. He only doomed himself. Should've kept your pants on, bro. But that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, if indeed you still are. My name is Brockster, and I bid you all adieu. That's not a wink. My eyes are really watery.